No, I just realised. My apologies. I just like kidnapped you here and made you go. Hey, you're taking part in this. Good evening, good morning, good night, my little chickadees. Welcome again to Saving for Skaven, the Fluff and Hammer minicast, where for 15 to 20 minutes I peruse your brain with some Age of Sigmar version 4. Volume 4. 4th edition, that's what I'm trying to say. Some 4th edition Age of Sigmar teasers, trailers, and announcements as we go along the Age of Sigmar path. As always, anything that you want to send me a message for, or you want me to talk about, or anything that you want to suggest, or anything that you want to tell me off for, or you have any questions, either go to the Discord and go to the Ask Us Anything label room. Brain working, nice, good. Do it there, or you can get me on any of the Facebook groups or pages or anything like that, because I do want to get you guys involved. As always, I am Adam, and with me today is, of course, the most furry, matted creature that I have ever seen walk the face of the Fluff and Hammer, his nose twitching on the scent for cheese. It's Big Swingin' D.
Hello.
I just realised I've just described you as a Yeti. I do
Yeah.
apologise.
I was going to say, I'd like to refute the statement that I'm probably the hairiest member of the Fluff and Hammer, but it's probably really not. Not how my beard is now.
I mean, my hairline is vanishing at an alarming rate, so it's very possible.
I'm still in the Shawn Michaels denial phase of my long hair, so
You haven't reached that weird bit where Shawn Michaels starts looking like an action star from a direct-to-video movie.
well, I haven't shaved it yet, so there is that.
So he turned up in something maybe about a year ago, and you look like someone else, and I can't place who it is.
He was in one with, I think Becky Lynch and Lana had appearances in something a few years back.
Yeah.
Which is very weird, but fair play to him.
Not as weird as when Edge turned up in the Flash, and I spent like a good 30 seconds thinking that was Shawn Michaels. It was a weird moment.
I mean, Edge, the only weirder of him is when he showed up in Highlander, although he didn't need any dental work for that because his teeth have always looked like that.
Yes. That was a good day.
Bless him, though. I wish I was half as good at 10 years as Junior.
Yes. I mean, the guy's in great shape. It's weird. You just reminded me of how Roddy Piper was once in the Highlander series, and it makes me very happy.
Yeah. That series is so great for guest stars.
It is. It is. It is great in general. It was just good. Good fun.
Yeah.
But speaking of Highlands, we're going to talk about some Skaven.
Sorry, I derailed that already. That must be a new record for me.
No, I started it. It's entirely my fault. So yeah, we've got some brand new Skaven Clanrats coming, and these guys are looking the shit.
They are
just the fact that you've got something that looks like a quintessential Skaven, what you'd expect, only with more movement and dynamism. But then you've got one that is just purely an old man monk Skaven with hairy ears. The fact he's got hairy ears amazes me.
Yeah, I mean, these sculpts are just... To be fair, we knew the Skaven were going to look great anyway because we'd seen the Underworld sculpts for the last few years. We've had 3 Underworld warbands, and each one was just like, mother of God. These look fantastic. And these Clanrats just look... Because these are... We assume these are the starter box Clanrats, so they're going to be easy to build.
Yes.
Thank God. I mean, my only concern is that they look so nice. Anyone who plays Skaven, sorry, Adam, is going to break themselves trying to paint an army of them, depending on how army construction goes nowadays. But it's Skaven. They're not an elite army. You need a horde of them. So
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the upside is they're so detailed. They should take very well to contrast and dry brushing.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much my thought. It's weird coming to. Ooh, did we just lose Craig? Hang on.
No, he's pissed. He's still up.
Yeah. Oh no, that's who it is. That's all right. Yeah, the great thing is that when the the great thing is that the Horned Rat himself has decided to join.
Praise.
Yeah, the cool thing is that the Skaven themselves have got such a heavily detailed look, and the way I've been doing a lot of the painting for AOS stuff has been doing a it's not quite slap chop, but I'll undercoat in a white, then I'll put a really watered down contrast brown over the top of it, Gargant Sewer, and then I will dry brush the edges, and it gives you a really nice variation going all the way through. So once you then start putting onto the colours, you don't need to worry about shading, and it just knocks down that horde painting so much.
That's cool.
But then, when I got the old hammer troll and wraith, yeah, I didn't do that. I went right back and started doing that in the old Humbrol paint style way.
You were using Humbrol.
I might have used Humbrol just to get that old hammer feel for those ancient Skaven, ancient trolls.
Sick.
Yes, I know.
I have a stack of those paints, I think, from I used to do the old asset drop boxes. So I've got like 2 trays and a stack of just random paints from different suppliers. It's just like, oh, Umbral, lots of those. Oh, interesting.
Do you know, it really annoys me that nobody does those drop boxes now.
I know.
It was such a cool idea.
Yeah, they were. They were great. And now they're just gone. They've just.
I mean, the guys who did it are still around because they've pivoted into they're the one print minis guys now.
Yeah.
So so they actually do a fairly decent price for printing up a lot of the more well-known Patreon files that are out there. So Papsicles and all that, which is if you don't have a printer yourself, it's fantastic because I mean, I think most of their stuff is sub £10, sub £5 in a lot of cases.
I mean, to be honest, even if you have a printer yourself, sometimes it's better to just pay somebody else.
Yeah.
Saves time.
Yeah.
It's not just that. It's the absolute nightmare that printing can be at times. People constantly go on about how it's a one-click thing. It's really bloody not.
No.
It's still very much a hobby of itself at the moment.
Yeah. Like, there's been points where I've contemplated outsourcing prints because I just can't be arsed.
That's fair. Perfectly understandable.
Totally get you on that. It's I haven't bothered doing anything over the winter just because it's that cold that I know that all the prints will fail.
Just turn your room temperature up. In the middle of a cost of living crisis where gas and electricity costs through the roof. So
I was going to say, I think you'll find that what I've actually been doing all the way through the winter is wearing another jumper.
So you're from Yorkshire then?
It's just me walking around with 5 jumpers on, looking like the Michelin Man. It's not a good look. Which reminds me, actually, the other day, my son saw the Michelin Man and went, "It's the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters." It's like, good lad. Yeah.
Was there a little proud tear that rolled down your face at that point?
Oh, just like threw myself at him. Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Trained you well.
Yeah. I've trained you wrong as a joke. I've lost my page now. Yeah, so I mean, what you're thinking of the? Actually, yeah. Hello, Darren. you found yourself in the recording now.
Oh shit!
My trap has fallen.
No,
it's fine. It's all good. Yeah, what are you thinking then, Big Swing and D? Then are you liking the way the Skaven look? Could you be tempted by tiny rat men that are literally half the size of the Stormcast?
I won't lie. I could be tempted just to paint a bunch up to throw into Cursed Cities in some way as an alternative for a campaign stream, which I'm really tempted by, because I will buy this box set when it launches.
Oh yes,
I'm absolutely set on that. And if no one else wants for Skaven out of it, I'll keep them and just do them as a side project for a scenario play.
Yeah.
Because they just look. But even if I didn't, anyone who's been a Skaven fan, I can only imagine from your perspective, Adam, you've been jumping up and down every time you see a reveal for these, because they look fantastic.
They do, and
so much personality in there. I mean, you got the guy with the eye patch,
yeah.
the ones with the hoods, and
it's
the glaives, and
the main reason I've never done
unit.
Skaven in AOS is I freaking hate that Clanrat set. That
I'm going to be controversial. I miss the goofiness of the old Clanrat set.
Now, if you go back to when they were Monkey Skaven, I would agree with you. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you. I loved it because they weren't just rat men; they were rat monkey men, and that worked for me. That was something that really, really worked.
Well, they were rat monkey men ninjas at that point. So
yes, they were.
Yeah.
They were.
What's not to love?
Yeah. But then they moved that into the actual Skaven army itself, and you had the Clanrats that ran off the same idea as that kit. The Storm Vermin did not. The Storm Vermin was still metal at that point.
No. Well, I mean, the thing is, Skaven had that slight revamp around, was it Island of Blood?
Yes.
Because that was where the last batch really came from, wasn't it? And
right.
I mean, that was a great redesign for the time.
Island of Blood, right? It created the best rat ogres. Using that rat ogre design, it created the best rat ogres you could get. And then for some ungodly reason, they've never sold those rat ogres properly. It's always been that fucking awful plastic kit.
Well, it's like with the Obliterators for Chaos Space Marines. They did a really nice kit of them, and then decided, which had 2, and a Venom Crawler, and then decided you could run them in units up to 3, but they never did a separate release of them, which is just like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's the problem when you've got this many moving parts, isn't it?
It is.
You just have too many moving parts, and you can never get back to fix the problems you've made yourself.
I mean, a lot of it's going to be commercial as well, right? Like how many people take them out and buy them and play them, and
yeah, and you got to think about SKUs as well, and they've still got to make their cost back on the original plastic kit, which for Rat Ogres, I imagine they probably still haven't. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, for the Island of Blood ones, they won't have, because they haven't sold any of the fuckers. But I mean, that plastic kit, yeah, that's been around for 15 years now.
It is weird how that kit keeps coming back around again, because it's had its original release, got released for AOS, and I'm sure I've seen 2 halves sold separately as releases in American bookstores somewhere.
Yeah, and it also got Spyro Dawn.
Yeah, that was and it's just so random.
Yeah, it's infuriating. It's like the Skaven keep getting these like really nice Blood Bowl minis, and there was a point where I was actually considering trying to make a Clanrat army, like a Clanrat unit, out of the Blood Bowl Skaven, just so I didn't have to buy this freaking monopose. Every Skaven looks exactly the same.
It's funny. I've heard a few people talking about different armies and going in and grabbing Blood Bowl kits and just going, "Can I do an army out of these?"
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I thought of that for these guys, and I built the Tingits, my Iron Jaw goblins, Iron Jaw grots out of the Blood Bowl kit, just because once again that Night Goblin unit is fucking ancient and it's terrible. It looks great as a square unit. Same with the Skaven. They look great as a square unit, and I'll never take that away from it. But in AOS, because you're on those round bases, Jesus Christ, it's so boring.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a bunch from next week because I've been doing Stormbringer, and I've kept most of the goblin stuff still bagged. And I hate to say it, those goblins compared to all the other gobbo stuff, just pales.
Yeah. I mean, they look ancient. They look terrible.
And it's not like they've got the charm of the really old ones either, from like 4th, 5th edition.
No, they're super bland. They're incredibly bland. Yeah,
it's. I think I remember those Night Goblins came out in, I want to say 2000, 2001.
Weren't they released as one of the big box sets?
They were released as part of the Orcs and Goblins versus Dwarfs box.
That's the one, yeah.
I was going to call it Grudge of Drong, but that's a campaign box from 4th
Was that not a mono pose set they did for that set? Because that was all...
No, it wasn't.
Really?
Battle for Skull Pass.
That's the one.
I'm glad I don't have my camera on, so you didn't have to see my gurning face as I was trying to rack my memory.
Because I had some very odd miniature choices in that one.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. The Dwarf Army. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
But no, these Skaven are lovely and three-dimensional. They've really got a lot of that Underworld's vibe going on with them, which and you know what? As they're Clanrats, they're not slaves, they're not storm vermin. They just look like mean, aggressive line troopers. So they're all a little bit armored. They all look a little bit dinged up in places, and they all look like if there's a mob of them, they'll do you. But if there's one on their own, they'll run like buggery, which is perfect for Skaven.
Yeah.
My favourite one is the one that's obviously stolen a like a storm vermin's helmet. And he's just like crouched all down, holding his little knife, going, "No one notices me."
Holding a chainmail around his face.
Yeah. Stolen.
Mm.
And his mate next to him, which I'm going to name Blind Al.
Yeah. See, it does make me intrigued to see, because we've seen a few bits of the rest of the range already, like some of the that weird war machine, and we know there's going to be Giselle teams and Globadiers, the old classics come back. I'm really intrigued to see if they do like Storm Vermin in this new style.
I would have thought so,
because I mean, it is one of the newer Skaven kits comparatively, but also it could do with that. I'd love to see what they could do in AOS style plastic for them.
I think the kind of has to be done because the Storm Vermin are going to look really tiny. Weirdly,
they will. Yeah.
Yeah.
When does that stop them though?
Well, true. Yeah, that's very true. But the thing I'm most excited about from watching that trailer like earlier on today for the pilot episode was, Skaven get mounts. Skaven have never had mounts.
Trailer for a pilot episode? What?
I watched the trailer for AOS 4 when I recorded the pilot episode for this about half an hour before I did this one.
Right, okay. I still haven't seen the trailer.
Really?
It's really good, and that's all right. The audio's on the front of the pilot episode for this, so you can just listen to it.
I'm still adamant that that's Lena Headey doing the voiceover.
Oh wait, no, I have seen the trailer. What am I on about? Yeah, I remember that conversation now.
I think you're probably right. And
yeah, it does sound a lot like her.
Which, Warhammer's going up in the world because that's a big get. So my question, of course, is Gary Oldman when?
Oh.
Yeah.
If they could get Gary Oldman to voice someone before he retires.
Yarrick. Gary Oldman as Yarrick.
Yeah.
You know what he'd be an even better get? Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill would be a good one.
I don't know who he'd do, but
Hamill is quite, for want of a better word, promiscuous when it comes to lending his voice to projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
I think, just looking him throughout the 90s, it's like, well, my film career didn't take off, so instead I'm going to become the best voice actor you've ever heard in your life. It's like, good on you, man. Yeah, I remember when Spider-Man, the animated series came out, and the Hobgoblin turns up just going, hang on.
Yeah.
That's the Joker. I wonder who's playing the Joker. Holy God.
Yep. And what was it, Phantom 2040?
Yep.
Which is still one of the most bizarre shows I've ever seen, especially as the BBC showed it.
I think my favourite thing with Hamill ever did was when he played the prankster in the original Flash TV series, but he still used the Joker voice, and it's really weird watching that voice come actually out of him.
And even weirder when he came back for CW's Flash, play him again,
Mm-hmm.
and did exactly the same thing. Love it,
and was amazing.
Although, wasn't there an episode of Justice League Unlimited where you had him as himself, then Joker and Prankster, and at least one other character that he voiced for DC?
Yeah, that was DCEU shorts.
Yeah.
Aye, so you just had Mark Hamill talking to himself for 8 minutes. Known as the Scott McNeil problem.
Yes, I was going to say, the only thing more bonkers is when Scott McNeil did it for Beast Wars. and the writers admitted they killed off Wasp Major to stop him doing it. It freaked them the fuck out.
Well, gonna die. So I introduced me to Jojo to Beast Wars, and he just loves running around and going, "Was Benita has no friends."
But what a way to come back around things, because we're under Rat Trap and back to Skaven.
Yeah, there we go.
It's like we planned it.
And it actually works. We're all gonna die. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on these things, and this is the perfect, as far as I'm concerned, extension of the Skaven brand into AOS at long last.
Absolutely.
God damn it.
You've got to give GW this. If something's been a while, they really do give it a kick in the nuts to make people go, ooh.
Yeah, it's been desperately needed to get the Skaven up to snuff. So yeah.
Here's a question for you, though, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think our good friend Thankwall is going to be in this situation?
I'm in two minds. Thankwall is basically immortal now. And one thing that AOS doesn't really do anymore is heroes as such. So whilst there's a fair few Stormcast and Chaos characters, for all intents and purposes, you don't really get those like mid-tier heroes. You get the big god heroes, the big baldy leaders, and then that's really it.
I mean, in a way, ironically, he's the closest Skaven have to like I'd almost say like a Gilliman type character.
Yeah. I mean, he will be back, and he will be that same model, because that model was only done for the end times, and that was only a decade ago. Or no, it's 12 years ago. God, that Thankwall's 12 years old.
Still looks good though.
Oh, it's great. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I love it to bits.
You got to give him credit. Anything from like the last, post 2010 GW's aged really well.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part. There's a couple of bits which haven't worked, but for the most part. Yeah,
I will admit some of the Empire faces from that period were a bit stiff, shall we say.
Yeah, I think the Empire is what I was thinking of, actually. The Empire did not get a good run in the end times, in any stretch of the imagination.
Ooh, no, they did not.
I mean, hey, at least they sort of survived, unlike Bretonia.
What are you talking about? The Flesh Eater Courts are there front and center, and they make me very happy. I think the Flesh Eater Courts just look great. I just wish they were.
Are they Bretonians, though? Are they really?
Well, they're close enough for my liking, and they're close enough to help me wind up Bretonian players. So,
yes, it has.
So that's all good.
I mean, part of me really wants to try and do a Bretonian force designed for AOS mode. So using a city's rule set to do it.
Yeah,
I've got, just because I like the idea of having the knights, but have them really big and broad on their bases, so that they're really pulling the heroic aspect as opposed to the all-in-one charge aspect.
So, I mean, the way to do it is to look to the. Is there a Bretonian Blue Bowl box? There isn't, is there?
There isn't.
No.
Well, there's not yet. I imagine at some point they might do one.
But you put the Bretonian helmets on the Stormcast, which looks amazing. I did that. I did it with my old Stormcast army, and then I looked at it and went, "Why am I doing this? I don't play Stormcast, but I've now got 2,000 points of Bretonian-based Stormcast." including the Green Knight. And so I gave it to my mate James. He was just on this massive fucking horse. It was like, why have I done this? I don't want to play Stormcast. It's just started off as a nice idea, and I just kept doing it. But anyhow,
always the way.
Yeah, so gave it to my mate James, and he was overwhelmed because it then pushed his Stormcast up to about 8,000 points. Sure. One day I need to fight that army.
I have had a suddenly divergent thought to annoy Brat players.
Mm-hmm.
What are the undead options in the old world?
Vampire? No, it's just
Tomb Kings.
Yeah, just Tomb Kings.
Ah, damn it! I don't think it'll work as well. Because I was going to say just Bretonians as Flesh Eater Courts. Literally just 1-to-1 map them and run them in the old world and irritate every Bretonian player ever because they're just dead Bretonians.
I mean,
I think you could do that in the legacy list. I
think. Yeah. What I was more thinking is the Lords of the Lance book. It has the Bretonians going into Kemri and getting their shit pushed in. So you just, oh no, I'm playing this army. They went into Kemri and got absolutely murdered.
Yeah, I've got that in front of me. I need to read that.
I've not read it yet, but
I found a copy on an online store, new for £10.
That's all right.
I grabbed some of it at the same time. It's just like, it was like, oh, you still have it. Take that and that and that. Free shipping. Thank you very much. Click.
Yeah, I'm not reading anything until I've caught up with the Heresy, which I'll see in about 5 years.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Aye, there's a reason I did the Siege of Terror books and the End and the Death as audio books rather than actual books, because I just knew there was no way I was going to get through them. There's just not enough time in the day to be able to read them. It's
this is why I don't sleep, Adam.
Well, yes, and this is why at 5 o'clock this morning I was sitting on the sofa with cartoons playing as I just put a hood up over my dressing gown and went, I'm going back to sleep for a bit. And Joseph was, I want to do this. And I don't give a shit. I was at work until 1:30. It is now 6:20. I'm going back to sleep. You little bastard. Right, so I think that's everything to be said on them. We shall pop this one on the shelf then. As always, if you guys want to ask me anything or you want to talk about anything in AOS version 4, I keep want to call it volume 4 and I don't know why. Obviously go to the Ask Me Anything on Discord or give us a shout on Facebook or anywhere where you can hunt me down. And thank you, Darren and David, for coming on this evening. This evening. Fuck it, it's 1:30. You can tell I'm used to recording at night. For coming on briefly this afternoon. It's been a pleasure.
No worries. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Likewise.
And with that was the end of this mini episode. I will see you soon.